This is a simple two-color vinyl project, so it's perfect if you want to make a handmade gift for Father's Day, a birthday, or for someone who loves fishing. I'm going to start from the very beginning by uploading the free SVG file into Cricut Design Space. Before resizing, measure the area on your tumbler where you want the decal to go. For most tumblers, I like to keep the decal large enough to see clearly, but not so large that it wraps too far around the curved surface. You can select the full design and resize it from the corner while keeping it locked, so the design stays in proportion. Make sure you don't stretch it too tall or too wide. To make weeding easier and to avoid wasting extra vinyl, I like to add a cutting box around the design. This step is optional, but it can make the vinyl much easier to trim and weed after cutting. If you're using more than one vinyl color, make sure each cutting box is attached to the correct color layer. You also need to change the color of each box to match the layer it belongs to. That way, Cricut Design Space will place the box on the correct mat with the matching vinyl color. If you add two boxes on the same layer, Cricut will cut that box twice in the exact same spot. That can turn a normal kiss cut into a deeper cut without changing any settings, and it may cut through the vinyl backing. If you cut more than one layer with the same material, it saves time to click on the box to remember the settings. If you're using a brand new cutting mat, place a small sticker on the protective cover sheet before you remove it for the first time. This helps you remember which side of the cover sheet goes back onto the mat. That way, you always place the correct side back down, which helps keep dust, lint, and debris away from the sticky surface. For a clean cutting result, it's really important that your mat is sticky enough. If the vinyl is not held firmly in place, it can start to shift while the machine is cutting. This can cause uneven cuts, lifted edges, or parts of the design not cutting properly. So before cutting, make sure your vinyl is pressed down well and that your mat still has enough grip. Another important tip is to always remove the mat from the material, not the material from the mat. Instead of pulling the vinyl up, slowly bend or roll the mat away from the vinyl. This helps the vinyl release more smoothly and prevents it from curling, bending, or lifting before you weed the design. These small tips might not seem important at first, but they can make a big difference in whether your project turns out clean or becomes frustrating. Sometimes it's the little details like a sticky mat, the right weeding box, or removing the mat correctly that help your Cricut project succeed. I always like to trim around the design first, so I'm not working with a huge sheet of vinyl. Use scissors to cut around each design layer, but leave enough space around the edges so it's easy to handle. Now use your weeding tool to remove the excess vinyl. Start with the larger outside pieces first, then carefully weed the smaller inside pieces. For this design, pay extra attention to the fishing line, hook, and fish skeleton details. Those smaller pieces can lift if you go too fast, so take your time. If a small piece starts lifting, gently press it back down with your finger or scraper tool, and keep going slowly. When you use a cutting box, you can weed your project a little differently. Start by weeding away the cutting box first, then weed the small inside pieces of the design, but leave the rest of the vinyl backing in place for now. Now that both layers are weeded, it's time to layer the vinyl. For this design, I like to use transfer tape to pick up one layer and place it over the other layer before applying everything to the tumbler. Cut a piece of transfer tape slightly larger than your design. Place it over the first vinyl layer. Use your scraper tool to press the transfer tape down firmly over the vinyl. Scrape from the front. Now slowly peel away the backing paper. If any vinyl pieces stay behind, lay the transfer tape back down. Scrape again and peel slowly. Once the first layer is on the transfer tape, line it up carefully with the second color. Layering vinyl is easier if you look at a few key points of the design. Once everything looks aligned, press the transfer tape down over the second layer. Use your scraper tool again to make sure both vinyl colors are attached to the transfer tape. Now your full two-color decal is ready to apply. You can also place your decal back onto the backing sheet from your transfer tape and save it for later. This is helpful if you want to prep your decals ahead of time, or if you're not ready to apply the design right away. Before placing the decal on the tumbler, clean the tumbler surface. This step is really important because fingerprints, dust, or oils can stop the vinyl from sticking properly. You can wipe the tumbler with rubbing alcohol and let it dry completely. Make sure the tumbler is fully dry before applying the vinyl. Now decide where you want the design to sit. Once you're happy with the placement, start by pressing the center of the decal down first, then slowly smooth outward to each side. This helps prevent bubbles and wrinkles. Work slowly across the entire design. Make sure you press well over the edges, the letters, the fishing line, and the small fish details. Once the design is fully pressed down, slowly peel back the transfer tape. Peel at an angle instead of pulling straight up. If any part of the vinyl lifts with the transfer tape, lay the tape back down. Press again and peel slowly. Take your time with this part, especially around small details. Now for the free file. You can grab the free Hooked on Dad Life fishing SVG file from the link in the description. Before you go, let me know in the comments what you would put this design on. Would you make a tumbler, a mug, a cooler, a tackle box, or a shirt? I always love seeing how people use the files in different ways. If this tutorial helped you, please give the video a like and subscribe for more projects. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.